Hey, Shalom Makim Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that's still teaching this truth. And as always, much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with the 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes and who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say Shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson. And today, Lord willing, today's lesson will be edifying. Today's lesson will be entitled Deacon Asaph, the Lord chose the poor, in faith. All right, Deacon Asaph, the Lord chose the poor in faith. And I just wanted to follow up on this on this emotional on this emotional tirade that Deacon Asaph went on in regards to trying to talk down upon, beginning with the apostles and elders on down here, us here at Great Millstone. You know, they're notorious for calling us bums. They're notorious for calling us faith-based Israelites and things of that nature. When here it is, these guys, you know, are consistently going off on the doctrine, trying to remix the scriptures. You know, they first and foremost, they don't come in the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. That's already a major red flag as it is. And when you don't come in the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, all right, pretty much you're open to all kinds of demons, you know, and all kinds of perverse things that are being taught. Now, you know, he was going in on this pastor that was so-called found, you know, not so-called, he was found, you know, I guess, you know, with a little boy, whatever the case was. And, you know, with that being said, he made reference to these bums, you know, and he emphasized the word bums. And, you know, he was talking about us, you know, but there's a scripture I want to actually say. It says, like, what, curse not the poor or something like that. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see, curse. It may be written in the GNT in a different way. Just give me one quick second. Let me do curse and poor. Let me do it like that. Whoops. So we're these bums. As a matter of fact, before I read that, let's let's go ahead and do this. Let's play a little bit of this, man.
Place, because at the same time we're trying to do good for the community and trying to
Oh, and that was another thing. You know, we're trying to do good for the community. You know, when the Most High don't give a damn about the community of Jake. Yahweh Bashim Al Shah is going to destroy 2/3 of the community. So how about that? Okay, because that's the thing with these Israelite camps out here, specifically the IUIC. They're big on, you know, wanting to trim their way and seeking love of the masses of the people. You know, that's why they jet set and they go to these different countries. They have the extravagant Passovers and the extravagant feast days, the extravagant garments, the sisters, and you know we got the events for the family, the sisters and the kids. You know, we're for the community. That's why they march down. That's why they march in these different streets. You know, when a Jake gets shot. You know, I want to say it was, I don't know if it was, I think it might have been for George Floyd, you know, or Kyrie Irving. They all gathered outside of the Barclays Center for Kyrie Irving, which Kyrie Irving don't give a damn about the Hebrew Israelites, man. Okay? Kyrie Irving he ain't worried about the IUIC. He ain't worried about serving Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. But you guys do all these things just to be seen by the eyes of men. You know? As a matter of fact, let's get that real quick. So they can be seen by men. This is Matthew chapter 23, verse 5. It says, but all their works they do for to be seen of men. And that's exactly what the IUIC does, man. All the works that they do. You know, like I said, the extravaganzas, the garments, the high feast days where you got people coming in on horses, and you know, you got SummerSlam venues. You know, I'm saying that I'm saying that to be funny, but you know, you got that one video of Bishop Nathaniel running down the venue like he was WrestleMania. You know, all these things that y'all do is to really be seen by men, but it's really not to be, looked at in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Shai in a good plight. So it says, but all these works they do for it to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries, in which none of these guys, they gloat about the law, the statutes, and the commandments. They gloat about the law, statutes, and commandments, which the laws are a beautiful thing. But they're the first ones to tell you, where your fringes at. You shouldn't be wearing pants, sister. Where your fringes at, brother? This, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. But here it is. Y'all ain't wearing no phylacteries. You got members in your congregation committing adultery with the fringes on. How about that? It says, and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feast. And loving the uppermost rooms at feast is, you got one person coming in on a feast on the Passover, and you got two Edomite women, holding Bishop Nathaniel from side to side on both sides of the horses, walking this man in into y'all's Passover. If anything, that's the most chief seat. That was the most pompous thing. That was very, very pompous, man. And love the uppermost rooms at feast, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. You see, when you listen to this guy, when you even go on the comment board, there's no edification, no precepts on the comment board. It's no kind of precepts or nothing like that, man. Going into, shalom, it's a happy Sabbath, Friday night to Saturday night, which, hey, if you keep the Sabbath Friday night to Saturday night, at least if you're trying to keep it in sincerity and truth, I get it. But according to the scriptures, it's according to the moon. The new moon is the first day of the month, but these guys teach opposite. They teach that the new moon's a full moon and the full moon's a new moon. You see? Complete madness, man. And like I said, you look down at the comment boards, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing at all. No precepts. No precepts at all. Just, MHNCBUA. What's that? Most High in Christ blessed UA. I don't know what the UA stands for. Dang, I forgot GMS existed. Yeah, man. Like I said, no precepts at all. Just complete. Just emojis. It's very disheartening. Zion Rise 322 is very disheartening and shameful to hear the men who call themselves Israelites in this GMS camp saying these vile, disgusting things about doing their own nation of women harm and ruining them. But when do we say that we're going to do our own nation of women harm and ruin our women? When has it ever came out of our mouths? You don't even have men that are in Islam nor NOI, Nation of Islam, talk like that. Thank God that he has put the true spirit of Christ. There it is right there, you see? Put the spirit of Christ in IUIC to redeem our people in righteousness. Hey, but they come in the name of Christ, man. But what did Yahweh Shai say? He said, if you are of the world will love its own. But since you are not of the world will hate you. So, these lies and these things that they say about us, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you're gonna have to be held accountable to everything that y'all said, beginning with Bishop Nathaniel, all the way down. If y'all call us grapists and y'all call us pedophiles and say that we harm children and this, that, and third, but none of us have got a charge on that. None of us been locked up on it. But y'all saying that we just these madmen just running around, just prowling, doing these things. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, these things are gonna have to be proven. And if you can't prove these things, well, this is an act of slander, according to the scriptures, and you guys are so big on the law, it tells you that thou shalt not slander thy neighbor's brother. You should not slander your neighbor or your brother. You're gonna have to account up to these things that y'all are saying and prove all things, as the scripture says. Y'all gonna have to prove that we are doing these things, which we're not. And the scripture says what? Yahweh Shai said it out of his own mouth. Every idle word that a man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Point blank, period. Now let's listen.
Our young boys away from stuff like this. You got black Hebrew Israelite bums, no good bums that speak about raping women and having sex with children, just watching everything we do, trying to overturn it.
Y'all be going off. The full moon's the new moon. The new moon is the full moon. You know, you can have sex on the Sabbath. That's another thing. Here it is. You got the high holy day of the Lord, but you can have sex on it and defile yourself, and everything's okay. You can call the Most High your plate yogurt. That's what one of your deacons said. Who was who just got off on an adultery charge, and was only suspended for a year, and now he's back at the chief seat again. Y'all a bunch of fucking hypocrites, man. And Yahweh Bashim Shai is just exposing y'all's wickedness, man. And the Lord gonna completely just break y'all shit up. Y'all niggas, man, I'm just saying blunt, man. Y'all niggas is wicked, man. But once again, y'all gonna have to account to everything that y'all saying. You're gonna have to prove it. Now, with us being these bums, he had to emphasize on the word, these bums, Israelite, these bums. You already know what he's talking about. He's talking about Great Millstone, beginning with the apostles and elders on down. He's talking about us, But what does the scripture say about these quote-unquote, these bums, as you like to call us, right? Well, you guys are, you guys are a $150 million camp, a $150 million organization, beginning with Bishop Nathaniel on down. You guys are known to be extortioners, aka the pocket. Shouts out to Bishop Kanai. Oh yeah, my fault. Let's RIP Joy Morgan as well too. Let's just RIP. I'm gonna throw RIP out there to Joy Morgan as well. You got the Transformer shooting that happened. He had his fringes on too. But let's take a listen. Proverbs 28 and 27. Give to the poor and you will never be in need. So if you guys got all this money and we're these bums, but we're your brothers, we're these Israelites, and we're your brothers and we these bums, how come y'all don't give if that's the case? Not that we're looking for a handout from y'all niggas because we don't want it, but you guys are doctors in the law, right? If you close your eyes to the poor, many people will curse you. Okay? So when it's all said and done, there was another one. Hold up. Poor. Let's do it like this. There's another one in Sirach somewhere. Ooh, yeah. Yep. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, let's go here. This is Sirach, the 4th chapter. And we'll read verse 4 and 5. Alright, it says, do not refuse to help a beggar who was in distress. Now, we ain't begging y'all. Y'all the ones that call us bums, faith-based Israelites, this, that, and the third. You don't need to learn the Hebrew. Matter of fact, y'all the camp that said that y'all ain't even Hebrews. What's up with that? Don't refuse to help a beggar who was in distress. Don't turn your back on a poor person or give him any reason to curse you. You see? Because as Elder Apostle Gabar did a lesson today, I would be a proud bum, because hey, at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai would have been looked at in your guys' eyes as a bum. Isaiah would have been looked at in you guys' eyes as a bum. The 12 apostles would have been looked at as bums. The prophets would have been looked at as bums in you guys' eyes. Look at these bums, these bum Israelites that go and they want to have sex with little girls and children. Making all these slanderous remarks. You're gonna have to pay for all these things that you're saying. You see? But the thing is, that's why the scriptures talk about the tongue is the smallest member, but it could pretty much put you in a whole world of hurt, man. When it's all said and done. This is the book of James, chapter 2. I think I'm already there. Yeah, James chapter 2, verse 5. It says, hearken, my beloved brethren. Hath not the Most High chosen the poor of this world rich in faith? But you guys called us faith-based Israelites. That's what you guys called us. These faith-based Israelite camps. This faith-based Israelites. Talking about us because this thing is predicated upon faith. You guys make it predicated upon works. Where's your fringes at? Your fringes this, your fringes that. And that's only, man, and you guys that gloat about the law. The law, you need to follow the commandments, the commandments, right? All these camps will talk about the commandments, which the commandments are a beautiful thing. The law, statutes, and commandments are going to be written in our inward parts. But all you guys that gloat about the commandments as if that's the way that you're going to be able to be saved, in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, man, you ain't even keeping a fraction of the commandments, man. You ain't even keeping, I dare to say you even keeping 5% of the commandments in this society that we live in. So stop the cap. Stop the cap, man. You know, that's what the Apostle Paul was talking about in Romans, the 2nd chapter, man. You know, thou art inexcusable, old man. Matter of fact, look, man, let's finish this up. We'll get that next, right? So it says, hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not the Most High chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him? You see, the true heirs of the kingdom, the true heirs of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai are those that are not going to have themselves be in a made in reputation. Yahweh Shai was a man that it says in Philippians 2, you know, he was a man that didn't have any reputation, meaning that he wasn't trying to be seen in the eyes of men as that guy. There was a lot of times where Yahweh Shai would have healed the sick, you know what I'm saying, and did a miracle, and he was like, man, look, don't even tell nobody that I did this. Just keep it, just go about your way, man. Be made whole. You know? And then he was like, man, look, don't even say it. At times, you still had people that still went out there and said things, you know? But that was according to the Spirit, you know? Philippians chapter 2, verse 7. Let's start at verse 5. It says, let this mind be in you, which was also in Hamashiach Yahushai, who, being in the form of the Most High, being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation. Now, when you get this word reputation, I'm going to actually come back to James 2. When you get this word reputation here, all right, just bear with me. That word reputation is kanao. All right. Now let's read this. Let's read this here. All right. Let's just read this here. It says BLB disclaimer. It says the statement that Hamashiach laid aside equality with or the form of God is confusing and erroneous if understood as the removal of Hamashiach's divine nature. Right? Because he did come in the flesh. You know, he was born, through Mary, his father Joseph. And Mary, his mother Mary had sex. He came in the likeness of sinful flesh. He was born of the seed of David. But he was still divine. Okay, according to Micah, the 5th chapter, he was from everlasting. He was the promised one, the Messiah that was promised to come. Right? It says such interpretation is not supported here nor elsewhere in Scripture. The text does not state that Hamashiach emptied himself of anything, but rather that he emptied himself by taking the form of a human and a servant to the point of death. You see that? He took upon him the form of a human and the form of a human and a servant. You see, in most servants, when you think about it, most servants ain't rich. A servant is at the lowest of the low. Yahweh Shai, he washed the disciples' feet, and when you go into that custom, that ancient custom, that was actually one of the lowest forms of servitude that anybody could do in anybody's house, was washing somebody else's feet. So Yahweh Shai in your guys' eyes would have been looked at as a bum. You know? It says, beginning in Philippians 2 and 5, Paul sets forth Hamashiach as the consummate example of the very kind of selflessness, right? Being selfless, taking yourself out the equation, to which he exhorts believers in chapter 2, verse 3 through 4. In which he himself exemplifies in chapter 2, verse 17. So when you read the scripture, it says that he made himself of no reputation. You see, he emptied himself for the greater purpose. You guys want to be looked at as being the guys on this side right now. You see? It says, but made himself of no reputation, took upon himself the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself. You see that? And became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. That's what Yahushua did. He didn't have no reputation. Obviously, he did have a of course, he did have a reputation amongst the miracles and things that he was doing, whereas the scribes and the Pharisees had to, they conspired and consulted to put him to death, according to prophecy. But when it says reputation, Yahushua wasn't out here floating above the temple, just doing all these different things to be seen, to be made a crown the king. At that time, when they tried to crown Yahweh Shah to be a king, man, he pretty much he shunned it, man. You know, he wasn't looking for that glory on that side because it wasn't the time. All right, James chapter 2 verse 6, it says, but ye have despised the poor. These bums, let's see, there it is again. But ye have despised the poor. So we these bums that you despising. But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats? And that's exactly what they want to do. That's why they saying these things on camera, you know, trying to get us, you know, trying to put these things out there to make it seem as if, oh, Great Millstone is doing this. And then now you got members in your congregation on the common board saying that we do these things and they have no idea. But that's how cold Yahweh Bashem Shai is, man. That's how cold the Lord is because he actually has you guys saying these things, and then he has your congregation saying these things and believing you guys' report, which is a false report. It's a false report at that. Have them believing y'all so that what? They can be condemned. Every idle word that a man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment, as it is written. And you're gonna have to validify everything that y'all said. It says, do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats? Do not they blaspheme that worthy name by which ye are called? And the way that y'all blaspheme the name of the Lord is by calling on Jesus Christ. You had your leader, Bishop Nathaniel. I scorn anybody that comes that says the names Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai. I don't even like saying that like that, to be honest with you. But that's exactly what that's exactly what he did, man. And he got these zombies right behind him, you know, doing the same thing. But you guys are known hypocrites, man, because Deacon Asaph is the same one, the same guy. If y'all remember, he's the same one that came out and said, we are going to stop calling these guys bums, for lack of better words. That's wrong. We're not going to do that. But here it is. He's doing the same thing. These bums. You know? How hypocritical, man. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 26, it says, for ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not about how you look, you know, about how organized your camp is on the outside looking in, you know, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But the Most High have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. The foolish things. Now let's get this word foolish. Okay, that word foolish goes back to the Greek moros, moras. Okay, moras. All right, and it says equivalent to without learning or erudition. Now the Apostle Peter, he was called a quote unquote an unlearned man. You know, erudition. It says the quality of having or showing great knowledge or learning, scholarship. These bums here. So when you look at somebody who quote unquote is a bum in the eyes and in the voice of Asaph, these are guys that are unlearned. These are guys that didn't have any proper upkeeping. You know, these bums, right? We're looked at as foolish in their eyes, but it says the Most High have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. You see that? And the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. You see, and we're weak, and we look weak according to y'all. We're these bums, you know. We're sleeping on people's couches. You know, we're mooching off of our wives. You know, we don't got no jobs. You know, all these different things that are being said about us, but it's cool. What did Yahweh Shai say? He said, "Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and speak evil against you according to my name's sake, for all manner of evil against you for my name's sake." The Lord said, "Look, you were kind of blessed if that's happening to you." So, absolutely, we'll love to be called bums, because if you calling us bums, you just further showing you're just further showing who the Lord is dealing with at the end of the day when it's all said and done. You know, there's another comment on the comment board that says, I forgot GMS even existed. Beautiful. I'm glad you said that, because the Lord said he's dealing with a small sanctuary anyway. So it's all good, right? This is Luke chapter 12, verse 15. It says, and he said unto them. I'm sorry, let's start at verse 14. And he said unto him, man, who made me a judge or a divider over you? And this is going into a parable, or this is going into an account where somebody walked up to Yahweh Shah and was like, man, look, you know, me and my brother was given given an inheritance, you know, divided amongst both of us. So he's like, man, who made me a judge or divider over you? And he said unto him, take heed and beware of covetousness. Now, what is covetousness here? This is Yahweh Shai speaking. All right, covetousness is pleonexia. All right, pleonexia. And covetous says greedy desire to have more. Covetousness, avarice. Shouts out to Bishop Kanai. All right, shouts out to all you guys that was using the pocket. And I'm saying that fictitiously, man. Y'all know what the hell y'all was doing. You know, a bunch of greedy extortioners, man. Okay, a greedy desire to have more, covetousness, avarice. You know, you guys are over here sending letters into prisons, you know, to the jailhouse. You know, you got to ask yourself how. Like, how are they doing these things? You know, we know. At the end of the day, we know. He said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. You see, that's not what man's life consists of, man. That's not what our life consists of, about, you know, how much you can jet set. You know, you going to Turkey, you going to Italy, you going here, you going to Spain, you going to all these different places. Now we're looked at, we're really the apostles because we're actually going over here. We're going on jets, flying over here, flying over there. We're the real apostles because we're actually going worldwide. 12 tribes worldwide. Sounds like a goddamn commercial, man. When the Lord ain't looking for the whole 12 tribes of Israel worldwide, he's looking for the elect amongst the 12 tribes of Israel. Not even looking. Yahweh Bashim Al Shai is waking up the elect of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel worldwide. Okay, he has risen up the 144,000, which are going to be the prophets, the teachers, those that are actually out there on the highways and byways teaching, and then the elect. You know, the rest of the members of the 1/3. Okay, that are going to believe upon that's going to believe the message that the 144,000 speaking. You know, it's also going to be, you know, some of the 144,000's men, women, and children. You know, when I say men, women, and children, you got helps that are men, and then of course you got the women and children. Okay, but your life doesn't consist of the things that you possess. You know, it ain't about how much you can own and how much you fly here. And, you know, everybody in our camp has passport. Here it is. Everybody in your camp. You know what I'm saying? You don't even come in the name of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You don't even come in the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. But you make it a doctrine, if you will, to have it, whereas everybody in your congregation got to change their name. What kind of madness is that? Make that make sense. But you know, Deacon Asaph was just on his emotional tirade. You know, keep the bishop's name out your mouth. You know, all these different things. And he was just coming straight out of it. He was just coming straight emotional. Straight out of his emotions. And when you come into this truth, man, you got to set your emotions to the side, man. It ain't about your emotions. It's about the truth at the end of the day. This is Jeremiah 22 verse 15. It says, shalt thou reign because thou closest thyself in cedar? And cedar is known to be a high-end wood. Like you have particular cedar wood colognes that are extremely expensive. So it says, shalt thou reign because thou closest thyself in cedar? Pretty much you putting yourself on this pedestal because you got cedar. You know, you got the top notch. You know, Bishop Nathaniel, beginning with Bishop Nathaniel on down, you know, they don't stay. You know, they make sure that they stay in upper echelon hotels when they travel. You know, they got bodyguards at their doors and things of that nature. Yeah, they make sure that everything is lavish and good. people escorting them all over the place. You know, it says, did not thy father eat and drink and do judgment and justice, and then it was well with him? And that's what the Lord is looking for. That's what the Lord is looking at. The Lord ain't looking at you to do well just because of outward appearances, man. The Lord will make you do well if you're upright in judgment and justice, man. Verse 16, it says he judged the cause of the poor and needy. So he judged the cause of the bums. Asaph. He judged the cause of the poor and needy. Then it was well with him. Was not this to know me, saith Yahweh? But thine eyes and thine heart are not, but thine eyes and thine heart, Salakia, let me do it one more time. Salakia. But thine eyes and thine heart are not, but for thy covetousness, and for to shed innocent blood, and for oppression, and for violence to do it. And that's exactly how you guys are, man. Let's read it in the NLT. It says, but you have eyes only for greed and dishonesty. Because you're not teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. You're not teaching the truth in honesty. You got to trim your way to teach the word, because ultimately you want more people to join your congregation. It's about numbers with y'all. It says you murder the innocent. RIPJM, right? Oppress the poor, the pocket, and reign ruthlessly. You see that? That's how you guys get down. And the Lord is so cold is that he has it come out in the open whenever these things happen, man. Okay, Isaiah 29:19, it says, the meek also shall increase their joy in Yahweh. Who are the meek? The meek are the humble. Okay, that word meek is Ainawah. Okay, and it says poor, afflicted, humble, meek. That's who the meek is. Yahweh Shai said it himself, the meek shall inherit the earth. The poor, the bums, right? You got these bums. Well, the bums, according to Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, are going to inherit the earth. Okay? Those bums that are out there on the highways and byways teaching the names of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, breaking the prophecies down correctly, you know, doing everything that Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah told them to do in sincerity and in truth, those bums are going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. So at the end of the day, the Spirit bears witness of who you calling bums. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, and we love it. Keep doing it, please. You can make another video about it. It says poor and weak, oppressed by rich and powerful. And these guys, they over here calling us bums. These bums, right? But here it is, you being oppressed by the rich too. You know? You being oppressed too. Now you using the rich, Esau and them, you using the rich in order to keep yourself in these positions. 501c3s, whereas you trimming your way to seek love. You ain't speaking the full truth. You know? Which is all good. It's cool. Everything is okay. Right? But you're going to be found out at the end of the day when it's all said and done. And you are being found out. Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai is finding you out. Psalm 102 verse 17. He will regard the prayer of the destitute and not despise their prayer. You see that? That's who the Lord is listening to. He says he will regard or listen to the prayer of the destitute. Who are the destitutes? The bums. You see? That's who the destitute is. Destitute is Ira. Okay? You got Ir. Okay? It says stripped, destitute. You see? Going to the root word is irar, to strip, make bare, strip oneself, to strip oneself, lay bare, to be utterly stripped, to be laid bare, to break. Okay, the scripture says that the Lord is nigh unto those that are of a broken heart and of a contrite spirit. He will not despise individuals who are contrite. It says he will regard the prayer of the destitute and not despise their prayer. You see, and we're praying for Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai to deliver us, man. We're praying for Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai to have this system be destroyed, man. Realistically, you guys at the IUIC, y'all don't want this system to be destroyed. You know? You guys are looking at this scenario, you know, in this world as a means of gain for y'all. You know, you guys want to pass these things down to your children, your children's children. This, make sure the IUIC gets passed down to my great grandchildren. Man, we ain't even worried about all that, man. But this is this is y'all's world, man. You know, you would rather have this world continue where Esau is ruling over your ass with a chip up your ass, versus Yahweh Bashim Shah destroying this place, man. And that's all that it is. That's why you got the charades and you got the advertisements and this, that, and third, the commercials, and also got other kind of madness. IUIC podcasts and this, that, and third. It's a well organized, it's well organized, but you guys got Esau up in there, man. And when you want to add the devil, and when you want to add the devil to the punch bowl, you already know what's gonna go down. So, Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. That's all I got. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Al-Shai, Bashem Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone that taught us his truth, and that's what teaching his truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Until next time, Lord willing, I'll say shalom.